Hey everyone, this is the second Meatmaker tutorial video. We're going to jump straight in and show you how to make your very first level. So up in the top you're going to want to select the project tab, and then from the drop down hit new level, and you're presented with a window. You want to just save this file wherever it's best for you to remember. We're going to call this my first level and then hit save. Now as soon as you do that, you'll notice that the game window itself actually presents you with a clean new empty level, and it's only got three things in there, the three things you're going to need, which are your spawn point, your golden fleece, and your exit point. We'll leave those for now, and we're going to need to create some landscape for your sheep to walk on. So we'll go back over to the editor window, and we'll make sure we're in our scenery tab, and then we'll click landscape pieces inside of the scenery tab, and we'll add a couple of pieces in here for your sheep to walk on. And we'll just head over into the game window and drag these around, start lining them up so that your sheep have a floor to walk along. Now you see at the moment, while we're doing this with snap to grid off. So if we zoom in and have a look, your pieces actually intersect one another, and it's a messy way to work. You can work this way, but personally, to get everything lined up nice and straight, I turn snap to grid on, and if you go back into the game window, you can move those pieces around. You see they move in a staggered way, and they will line up perfectly, and you get this nice flush edge across the top. So we'll chuck a couple more pieces in there and get them lined up, and then the next thing we're going to do is drag our start point over to the left, because sheep will spawn to the right, and our exit point over to the right. Now once you've done this, you've got the basics for your level. Your sheep will just walk across this top and head over to the exit point. Next thing we're going to do is make the level a bit more interesting. So we'll take out one of these blocks in the center. We'll go back into the editor window and head over to the scenery tab if you're not still in it, and we'll go to the bottom and we'll find the full ramp right. We'll click that and you'll see it drop into the level, and then we'll pull that and we'll put it on top of your landscape. So this is a runway for your sheep to get over that gap. Now they're still not going to clear that gap, so what we'll actually do is we'll go back into the editor window and we'll go into the setup tab, which is where you'll see you've got theme, win condition, star scores, starting abilities, and starting camera. We'll go to starting abilities, and down here you'll see a list of all of the abilities and formations you can get. We're going to go ahead and we need to put some jumpers in to clear that gap. So we're going to select jumper, and we're going to set that to, we'll set that to 10. Now if we go into test mode, you'll see that as it loads up, as soon as you start the level, you've already got 10 jumper abilities. So that's perfect. So you can assign those to your sheep and they'll jump that gap. Right. We'll head back into edit mode. There's another way to do that. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a wall the other side of that jump, and we'll do that by going into objects. So we can, you've got to click on the objects tab next to scenery, and then in physics objects, you want to head over to the right hand side and find something you can use as a wall. Most of these will work, but we'll just use a square metal box, and we'll drop that in on the right hand side. Now to get over this, you're going to need some super sheep. So we're not going to go to the setup tab. What we're actually going to do is stay in the objects tab, and we'll head down to ability crates, and on the right hand side add ability crate, and you'll see that jumps straight into the level. Now if we expand ability crates and click on that first one that we've just made, ability crate 1, you'll see it only has a couple of identifying bits of information here. The first one is position, and then contents and number of contents. So we want super sheep, so we're going to get contents, double click on that, and it will bring us up a drop down menu. And this is exactly the same as the setups. You'll see that you've got all of your abilities and all of your formations. So we'll select super sheep, we'll go into number of contents, We'll set that to 10 again. And then we'll position that crate just to the left of the big metal box. So when they collect that, you'll have 10 super sheep and you can send them all up the side of your crate. So that's everything you're going to need to complete the level. We're going to head back over to the setup tab one more time and just have a look at a couple of these other things. So your win condition is going to default to 20 sheep. We can only save 10 because we've only set 10 abilities of each. So we'll set that down to 10. And we'll leave the rest of those for now. We don't need to look at those. We'll head back over to the objects tab and we're going to find our spawn point. So if you go to spawn points, expand that, and the default spawn point that you always have when you start a level is called spawn. And if you just want to go ahead and click on that, it will highlight, center that into the screen. And if you look down here, you can see it's got position, whether or not it's movable, the rotation, the max, which is the number of sheep that it will spawn, the time initial, which is when your first sheep will spawn, then the time repeat, which is how often your sheep will spawn, and then how many sheep at any one time and with how much force they get ejected. So we're going to change the max to 10. And now we have a level that will spawn 10 sheep with 10 jumper abilities to clear the gap, to pick up 10 super sheep abilities that will then scale the box, and then we'll walk to the exit. If you want to go ahead in test mode, you can double check this, and if you play through to the end, you will get a cleared completion screen. I'm going to just finish this. Okay, once you have the completion screen and you get cleared in green in the top left, you can go back over to the editor window and hit Steam Works. And then underneath that, you get Publish or Update Level. If you can click on that, it should open up straight away. And then you can create whichever name you like for the level, put in whichever description you'd like. You can make it viewable by everyone, only to your friends, or just to yourself. Once you've done that, all you have to do is click Agree, and you can publish to the workshop. You can only do this process once you've completed your level in test mode. If you attempt it before you've completed the level in test mode, as soon as you click on publish, you'll get an error that says you must test this level and verify that it can be completed before you can publish it to Steam Workshop. But as soon as you have done that, you can publish. And if you do it successfully, it'll tell you, and then it'll open a Steam page, and it will show you your new level. And that's it for your first level. And we'll be back to explain more about joint types, anchors, and how to create exciting contraptions. See you again soon.